Starting to stream a little late. Hope everybody's doing all right. I am so tired. I literally woke up from a nap. Could not be sleepier. So we're going to be streamlining this particular stream. I can't stream this weekend. I cannot stream this weekend. So this will be the last stream for a while. However, what I will do is we're going to put out videos and I'm gonna be specific. So today, obviously, we're gonna do a Shedeur video. Who the thunk, right? But we're also going to do Nisa, sorry, your. What we will do today, though, we're gonna get some extra comments reading videos. I need my hometown to get this kid, man. Hey, Miami, come on now. So we are going to do, at least in this stream, we're at least going to do 2 comment reading videos because y'all seem to really enjoy the comment reading videos. And I think it's dope because it's a lot of comments. So to being able to specifically respond to some of you guys, obviously, like, I don't know if y'all know, sometimes it doesn't even give me the notifications for all the comments sometimes. So, like, I don't even know, what's going on. Yo, what's going on? But, of course, we're going to start with I'm going to call it a Shedeur narrative video because I touched on it a little bit in yesterday's video, and I think even today's video, I talked a little bit about it. But I want to go deeper into more specific things about how narratives are formed and how specifically Shedeurs are formed. And then at the end, when everybody leaves, I get to talk about my guy Arch Manning and how bad he's been because it's been very, very bad. But hope everybody's doing great. I don't want to dilly nor dally. I want to get in and get out of here. One thing about you. You're not biased. You keep it real. I appreciate that. Slime. I'm sorry. They updated the YouTube thing. It doesn't show y'all usernames. It shows y'all's @ names, which is weird. I don't know why it does that. But I appreciate you letting me know that, man. I try to keep things as consistent as possible. I like foosball and I like Shedeur. I don't think ain't nothing wrong with that. All right? I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. Actually, I think I should do it like this. Should I do it like this or should I do it like this? How should I start this video? Hold up. I'm going to start it from left to right. Let's do it. I'm going to start it from left to right. This is in the wrong place. This needs to be put over here. Okay, cool. Thanks. Gonna read words from Shedeur Sanders. He says, the greatest lessons he learned through it all is not to worry about. Oh, whoa. Reading classes. This guy needs reading classes. Shedeur Sanders' words. He says, the greatest lesson he's learned is through it all is to not worry, but to lean on and trust God in every situation. Even when I don't know what to do, I've learned that God will always guide me. I live stress-free because I know that no matter what, God has the final say over my life. I'm able to persevere through trials because I come from a family built on morals, values, and unshakable principles. Growing up, I had access to a lot, and maybe without my understanding shaped my worldview. But I've realized that peace, purpose, and faith can't be bought. They have to be built. True success is who you become while waiting on God's timing. God's pace protects what your purpose will one day require. Now, a lot of people were very upset that Shedeur says that because we know why y'all hate Shedeur. But, you know what I'm saying? I guess people have a problem with God. But what I have a problem with is people trying to take Shedeur out of context, and even more, the media trying to frame things with Shedeur Sanders. Look, you can say you don't like his play style. You can say he was just a mid quarterback. You can look. If you have that opinion, you have it, but you're not going to lie to me. You're not going to lie to us. We know what we saw, and I'm going to take you through a few things. We're going to talk about Rex Ryan, right? But before we talk about Rex Ryan, I want to speak about this general attitude towards Shedeur Sanders that a lot of people seem confused about. Like, oh my God, why are people fans of Shedeur? Why do people glaze? Why do y'all think he's a first-round quarterback? Who did that, right? Why did Deion Sanders just make up that Shedeur Sanders was a first-round pick? I'm sure it was the CU aunties, right? Yeah. It was just social media, that's what it was. It was social media and people like me just making up narratives on why we thought Shedeur was one of the top quarterbacks coming out of this draft. I'm sorry. Oh, why do y'all think Shedeur should get reps over Dylan Gabriel? I don't know. Maybe there's a big ass picture behind me showing you, because I'm tired of it. I'm tired. You cannot like him. That's cool. But people trying to reframe it and act like it was some conspiracy theory as to why Shedeur is like. Why do people think Shedeur is a good quarterback? I hated that whenever he started following the draft, and I want to talk about that because that was the first narrative change, right? This right here, what you're looking at, it went from, oh my God, how he's falling so far in the draft, and the next day after the draft, it was, well, I mean, when you look at it, he holds the ball too long. I think he has no hang time in his braids. Like I don't really mess with him. You know what I'm saying? Like whoa. Like, where did all this come from? Please. Why do we have to act like, and that's what's wrong with y'all AI slot mob. Yeah, y'all forgetting y'all history, dog. Y'all don't know how to Google something? Why do people like Shedeur Sanders? I don't know. 50 career starts, 1,267 career completion percentage, 14,000 career yards, 70.1%. This is only for Colorado. This is not to mention the legendary HBCU run he went as a freshman and sophomore. Because y'all don't like talking about that. Y'all don't like to talk about the high level completion percentage he had there. Y'all don't like to talk about his rushing touchdowns there. Y'all only want to talk about the Colorado record. Okay. He finished his career ranked 14th in NCAA D1 FBS and FCS history. So you can add in all them FCS quarterbacks that be running up the stats, right? Carson Wentz, all them people. But y'all don't actually watch football. So y'all don't. I'm talking to the Shedeur Harris. Y'all don't watch football. So y'all don't even know what FCS means. Let me slow it down. Let me slow it down for you. He finished his career 14th in all Division I FBS and FCS history, top 15 in the history of the game with 14,353 yards. Just the second quarterback in history with 14,000 plus yards while completing 70+% of his passes. So for the people who try to consistently undermine the fact that he has the number one completion percentage in just the FBS. Did y'all look at this stat? That combines all of his completion percentages and ranks him as the second quarterback in history to throw for 14,000 of them things and still have 70% completion percentage. Maybe I don't like stats. I get it. I wouldn't like reading these stats either if I was a hater. His career QBR of 156.1 ranks 8th most for quarterbacks with at least 13,000 passing yards. At Colorado, in 24 games, he finished his career 71.8%, right? So remember, he has a 70% career, 71.8 on the FBS level, 64 touchdowns, and 13 interceptions. He broke over 100 school records, finished 5th in passing yards, attempts, and completions, 1st in passing touchdowns, and tops in QB rating. Johnny Unitas, first team All-American, second team All-American. Why is he's first team and second team? I'm confused by that. Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year, first team All Big 12. Not too shabby. So when we start talking about revisionist history, I don't know why did we think? Why did we think that Shedeur Sanders was a first round pick? Crazy, right? Yeah, it was just the CU aunties, right? Yeah. The CU aunties wrote this NFL. Yeah, I know. I get it. I feel it. So I'm speaking about that because I can go on forever about that. And actually, I've made 1,000 videos about that. So with that being said, let's acknowledge the new shift that is being made, right? And this is where it's at, right? And this is Mikey NFL CFB. This is his take, and I think it aligns pretty well with what's going on. He says Sanders is going to play at some point. I think that's super clear. The entire narrative surrounding him amongst Cleveland media has shifted within the last few weeks, all right? I think it's indicating he's closer than much of the public believes. i.e., right, the media is preparing you. They're preparing you for the idea that somehow in these last few weeks, all of a sudden, Shedeur just light years better. Now he can read offense. Now he can read defenses now. So are you telling me you want me to believe all this time he wasn't progressing? Is that what you want me to believe? So let's hear most recently from Mary Kay. Now, we heard her on another podcast. This is on her podcast speaking about what they're seeing from Shedeur Sanders.
Look good. They're not going to give up on him too quickly. And that would probably open up a can of worms for them if they start throwing Shedeur in there, even in spot duty right now. So I'm not really feeling that or really seeing it. But I will say this. In practice, Shedeur Sanders has been making a ton of progress. He looks really good. I've been saying this over and over again. If you put Shedeur and Dillon Gabriel side by side or one after the other in a 7-on-7 red zone drill, I think that Shedeur would probably win that drill much of the time. Or if you put them up against each other in a pockets drill where you're throwing the ball into the little pockets in the net, I think Shedeur would win that a lot of the time. But there are so many other things that you have to do. You have to be able to protect yourself. You have to be able to read the defense. You have to be able to call the play, slide the protections, manage the motions, and do all those things. He's coming up the learning curve very, very quickly and very well on all of that. The reviews I'm hearing from inside the building are really, really good on Shedeur's progress right now. But I think they still want to give Dillon some time. Now, he's got to make some points out there. He's got to produce and generate some touchdown passes. But for now, I think the status quo will be maintained.
So, again, this is going to be a multi-week process. It's the Shedeur Sanders rollout, right? Just understand what's happening. If you've been watching my channel, you remember that I took note of that because Mary Kay, to be fair to Mary Kay, she's always said that, look, Shedeur has a phenomenal accuracy. The stats say it. The football, if you watch it, it says it, right? So I can't fight her there. I can't call her out on there. What I can call her out is the fact that she has been saying that, hey, look, she does all these good things. But what it's really been is, calling the snaps and identifying defenses at pre-snap and getting the motions right and making sure you're calling the protections right. What I have a hard time believing is that the same quarterback who doesn't have access to first-team reps, right? The same quarterback that we know puts in work, unlike Rex Ryan thinks, right? Although Rex Ryan thinks this, and we have plenty of videos because he's next. You want me to think that all of a sudden it just in the same week that we finally can all see that Dillon Gabriel can't push the ball down the field, in the same week that the only way the Cleveland team, because it's not the offense, the only way the Cleveland team could score more than 17 points since over 20 games or something was because the defense, right, scored a touchdown. And Tua Tagovailoa played the worst game of all time. I think he had like a 12 QBR. Like I'm not joking. Go look it up, right? So it's not a coincidence. They're preparing it. They're saying, hey man, if you do throw that pick, we're gonna put 12 in here. Hey, watch what happens if they lose in 2 more games. If they officially out of playoffs, Jimmy Haslam. Hey, you know how Jimmy get down. Come on now, you know how Jimmy get down. Like give it. Oh no, we gonna get some money. Yeah. Okay. How about we sell some more of these jerseys? I'm letting you know right now, Dillon Gabriel. I'm a Dillon Gabriel fan. I like Dillon Gabriel. I'm just telling you like it is. You don't put no points up there. You don't keep no butts in them seats, man. Jimmy Haslam knows that this game is about entertainment, not just foosball. He gonna put 12 out there, man. He gonna make it happen. You better watch out. So I want to go back to the idea that the narrative has shifted, right? That there is something at play here. And I want to also point something out because I love dunking on Rex Ryan because I told y'all, hey, Rex Ryan is lying. And I told y'all that not because I'm a Shedeur fan, right? Because I told you, I sit here, I say there's a possibility that Shedeur could have done something bad. Like, I mean, he's got, the speeding tickets, whatever. Like, he's a human. I think that he's made some mistakes in his life. But I can tell when you're lying. I can tell when the media is just trying to put something on him, right? Now, y'all not going to like this, but I'm about to give Kevin Stefanski a little credit. I hate his offensive play calling, but I am going to give him a little credit. Now, remember this, and this is my reasoning behind it, right? Rex Ryan goes off on that crazy explosive thing. Hey, why aren't you sitting in front row? Why aren't you not only were there pictures of him sitting front row, not only have there only been reports of him putting work, but Rex Ryan says, hey, you got the talent to be the quarterback. You should be embarrassed that you're not the quarterback now. You're doing all this talking. You're not working. Put the work in. Yeah. That's what was said. Now, to give Kevin Stefanski some grace, right? To give him some credit, this is what Kevin Stefanski said right after, what's it called? What's his name? Rex Ryan went on that rant.
Yes, Joe's back. Shedeur's the emergency quarterback.
So having made the move now with Dylan moving ahead of Joe, what would a guy like Shedeur need to do to move himself up?
Yeah, all of our players, and I include Shedeur in this, are working extremely hard. We just finished our period after practice that we do every single day. Just finished a red zone 7-on-7 period where Shedeur and the rest of the younger guys are working on 10 reps. So he needs to continue to do exactly what he's been doing and continue to do what all these guys are doing, which is just keep working.
So again, there are no complaints, right? And another reason I was telling you, I was like, hey, when Dylan Gabriel started, guess what happened? There was leaks from Mary Kay, guys. That there is leaks from Tony Grossi. There was leaks from Rizzo. When you get leaks from Mary Kay, doesn't just say things, and I've told y'all this, and I've been learning this. Shout out to the people in the Browns media because I've been watching them. They've just putting it together. Mary Kay does not announce things if she does not know. Tony Rizzo does not announce things if he does not. Tony Grossi, that is like the Trinity. And Daniel is like Daniel, he's the confirmer, right? When Daniel tweets about it, that means it's officially official, right? But they are the leakers. Mary Kay, Tony, and Mary Kay, Tony, and Tony. Mary Kay, Tony, and Tony are the leakers. They're almost like a voice box for the Cleveland Browns team. It's not one-to-one. They're not saying exactly what the Browns want to say, but the things that they are saying come from reliable sources inside of the Browns, and it's shown to do that, and it's shown to say that, and that's why you've never seen anything negative about Shedeur. That's why when he said that, I told y'all, hey, what is he using? Cause I can just search up videos and I see him putting in extra work. I see him. This isn't even posted by Shedeur. I told y'all these ones on the right, that's not even Shedeur posting. He was just putting in work. This one on the left, he posted. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta flex. You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta show the people. But that's how I could tell. I could tell that there was no substance in what Rex Ryan was saying because where are your data points? Where are you showing us? What evidence do you have that Shedeur Sanders doesn't work hard, right? And I'm about to tie the whole video together. What evidence do we have that Shedeur can't read a defense? High completion percentage, very efficient with the ball, doesn't throw a lot of interceptions, was looked at as a first or second round pick. His limitations were never his processing skills. How about we bring it all back together? Let's bring it back to let's look at what they said. The Big 12, yada yada yada. Y'all don't want to hear about this the awards again. Sanders threw a school record 64 touchdowns over 2 seasons while playing in his Pro Football Hall of Fame father Deion in Boulder. After he spent a couple years together at FCS, his freewheeling play style and unique pedigree make him one of the most fascinating. Oh, okay, I thought there was gonna be more on there. You know what? Let's go ahead. I want to, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the live chat. We're gonna actually Sanders draft profile. Yeah, man. Yeah. I don't think it's the same one, but we gonna show the people. We gonna show the people. Where is it at? Where's it at? Shedeur Sanders draft profile, because people want to act stupid, dog. They want to act like they, you know what I'm saying? We'll use Bleacher Report then. We'll use Bleacher Report, right? We'll use Bleacher Report. All right, I went ahead. I had to go Bleacher Report. I just want to show you because there were flaws in his game, but it was never pre-snap stuff. So Sanders is a precision pocket passer. When protected by the offensive line, he dissects defensive coverages quickly. That's the first thing out of their mouth If I go to Dan Orshlovsky, Danny, can you let us know? Do I have that Danny Orshlovsky video? Where is it at? Oh, I don't have it right here. Hold up. If I had that. Oh no, it's right here. I'm tripping. It's right here. If I go to Dan Orshlovsky, we're gonna watch the first sentence.
Some tape on Shedeur's.
The first
Why
sentence.
would teams talk themselves into drafting him?
Well, he's got all-pro capabilities, seeing things pre to post snap, and his ability to see the field is absolutely sensational.
Okay, so again, this is what we like to call media propaganda. So which one do you think it is? Is it multiple people, independent people saying, hey, Shedeur Sanders is a great decision maker, great pocket passer, and he reads things well? His shortcomings, and I'll tell you, it was his athletic ability and his arm talent, right? And those were like the real big ones, right? And of course, him playing a lot of out of structure, holding the ball too long. Okay, cool. It's interesting, and that's where the narrative comes from. That's where it comes from. Them saying that, oh, it's Shedeur, he's having a problem pick up, pre-snap stuff. Mary Kay is just saying jargon. That's what she's saying. Hey, when the Browns, with whoever sources she met, hey, we're not ready to start Shedeur yet, and we're not going to. So to give a reasoning, that's what Mary Kay is doing. She's putting a face, a front to give a reasoning. Oh, well, the reason is it's pre-snap processing. He doesn't get the play as well as Dillon Gabriel, right? And I did show y'all a reason why Dillon Gabriel should have an advantage because of Will Stein's offense at Oregon, wide zone concepts that are the same that should be pretty applicable to Kevin Stefanski's offense, right? We went over that. Now, it hasn't looked like that. And that is the reason why they are full on they're in mode. Oh, let's get rid of the narrative that, actually, all of a sudden, this thing that has been plaguing Shedeur, and it's the reason why he can't be QB2 and he's not making, even though he's making progress, even though he's putting the work in. It's, the pre-snap stuff. The first thing I read, when protected by offensive line, he dissects defensive coverages quickly. Sanders is an accurate and precision passer, especially, whoa. Can I pause this, please? Thank you. He was an NFL caliber arm. He has NFL caliber arm and velocity to make the requisite throws to win at the next level. He throws with a good pacing at all three levels. Sanders is among the best in terms of accuracy on downfield throws. He throws with a great arc and trajectory for his receivers to run under balls, right? Sanders excels by leading his receivers away from coverage and protecting from a big hits. His ball placement is great. He can put the ball where he wants with control. He displays innate comfort throwing from muddy pockets with pressure bearing down. However, and here again, for all my Sanders haters, I'm about to give you, these are fair reasons to actually, right? Mary Kay, I wish you would have had these things, because then I could be like, oh, okay, this is a real thing, not just a media thing that you're saying that now I can magically, he gets it now. Y'all are nasty, dog. However, Sanders takes too many hits because he tries to make a play and holds onto the ball. Okay, here we go. That's fair criticism. Sanders must improve his anticipation and get the ball out of his hands quicker. He would benefit from more velocity on drive throws. And that's something I said in the pre-draft process. Some people got upset at me, but then you also see him throwing with the Browns. It seems like he solved that problem. I'm saying, no, I feel like nobody gave him enough credit for the fact that I feel like the velocity got better. The consistency of velocity got better. Although Sanders has been willing to throw from muddy pockets and under pressure, defenders with consistent push-rush packages can disrupt his timing, speed up his process. It would benefit him for being more proactive with his legs to give himself a better chance to overcome. Overall, Sanders' natural and pure passing abilities are the strength of his game. He is a high floor prospect with a good ceiling to buy into. Sanders is best suited for a quick passing offense where he can play on time and on scheme and has the mental aptitude and accuracy to become a franchise-leading quarterback. Again, I don't know if you see this. Let's see who wrote this. Written by Bleacher Report, NFL Scott, Dame Parsons. That does not say Deion Sanders. That does not say CU Auntie. That does not say FB Tings, right? That don't even say John the Liquidator. You know what I mean? If you feel me? That don't even say Big Watts. Yeah, y'all know how he get in it. Shout out Big Watts. That don't say no pro Shedeur stuff, right? That was people who watch film and watch football said, hey, there's a few knocks on his game. He's a first to second rounder. So when you get this combination, I got all types of screenshots background, but I just think that this video is important because it was always a narrative, right? From the day that they told y'all that Shedeur was throwing his teammates under the bus, and if you actually watch the full interview, he's actually answering a specific question about running ball. Since then, I knew what was up. They're going to paint Shedeur however they want that gets them the most clicks. If they can, make him think that all of a sudden he's this dumb quarterback that can't read offenses and he can't figure it out. And Dylan Gabriel's got the advantage. Well, he's got the advantage and he's running a putrid offense. He's got the advantage and he hasn't been able himself to produce many points or many yards or many explosives at all. So, they're going to have to backtrack. They're going to have to figure it out. But it's just nasty work, man. I can see what you're doing though, guys. I'm looking at it. I'm seeing it. But the thing is, y'all don't like stats. Y'all don't like stats. Y'all don't like facts. Because when I start bringing up the stats and the facts, it don't match up with the narratives. Sorry about it. You feel me? But people ain't gonna watch this video anyway. Y'all just gonna run with the narratives. It's all good, man. Like this video if you like it. Dislike if you don't. Subscribe if you like football content of all shapes, sizes, form, fashions, and factors. Continue to be great, phenomenal, all that else in between, man. I'll be phenomenal. See you next time. Peace. All right, chat. This is, I think, y'all's favorite thing. We're going to read comments. That's the next video we're doing. We're gonna read some comments. We're gonna read. Shh. Be quiet. Wait. Hold up. Get right with me. Oh, y'all didn't see that. Y'all didn't see that, all right? Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. What am I doing? I'm getting a little federal here. How's everybody doing today? Everybody doing all right? Everybody feeling nice? Everybody feeling nicey? I want to go to my channel. That's what I was trying to do. I was trying to go to my channel. View your channel. Boom. We're going to read some comments. And we're going to do a few comment reading videos. Because there's a lot of comments. We've had a lot of and don't worry about it. This is all fake. This ain't real. Trust me. Trust me. What's it called? I'm broke, baby. What's it called? Because we've had a few videos, but I want to talk to the chat for just a second before I start answering these comments, because y'all been yapping. I haven't been talking to y'all because I was recording the video. But at Jab, what up? JV Press says the game needs to stop. Trade 12. Enough of these shenanigans. Bad Mom FC says watch them. Give him his number 2 to sell more jerseys. Now that would be, that would be. I would mess with that. I would mess with that highly. Dylan is trash. This is what Mr. Kiss That Baby says. Dylan is trash. Nothing against him, though. Patriots about to expose him. That would be interesting. Bobby Houston says Dylan is getting all the reps, and he's still not getting any better. That should tell you everything about Kevin's coaching skills. Specifically, the development of quarterbacks at, what's it called? What do you call it? In Cleveland. So Shedeur is not ready, but they chose to go without an emergency quarterback. Exactly. It's all a rollout. It's all a rollout. That's all it is, for real. It's all a rollout, for real. That's all it is. What about that Josina Anderson comment in 92.5 The Fan? She basically just kind of said that, hey, it was more of a matter of time. They're cooking her because Jackson Dart is good. So I'm gonna let her live. That Siski Blue Harris says Stefanski exposed himself in the third preseason game when he actively tried to get Shedeur hurt by placing him with that O-line of AT&T's. What's going on, Ian Coleman? I don't think he was trying to get him hurt, but definitely was not setting him up for the best success. I will agree. Phyllis Fox says, always love it. Love you. You're the best. Want to see Shedeur. Wish now he was on a fair team. Mama is saying, look, it's tough, right? But hey, nothing in life's fair. Nothing in life's fair. So we gonna get there. What's it called? You're at this point. How is it not the big R word? Hey. We gonna keep that. We gonna let our people more smarter than me delve into those things, right? I'm not gonna say you're wrong, but I'm gonna say I ain't smart enough to do all that. 12 ready to go off. It's going to be so funny how the media rides to the fullest, and I'm gonna be like, nah, stay on that side, man. Stay on that side. The owner is smart. He getting a new stadium. Who else gonna fill in the seats? You feel me? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Sanders will be playing by the second half of Sunday because DG will be fully exposed with 4 picks. I don't know, man. I think he plays too safe to do that. But what I do want to do is I want to read some comments, and we should start with the last comment video that was just 4 days ago because y'all kind of went crazy. Y'all went crazy. So we're gonna do two videos where we only do this one, and it's been dope because every time we do one of these videos, like, we learn something. So I want to make sure that becomes a part of the comment videos. That every time we do a comment video, if somebody reference something, we gonna look it up. We gonna search it. And we gonna really, you feel me? We gonna really get after it. Now I do want to, because this is what this is what I should do, because I started this one, the other one, like that. I want to read y'all's comments about this. Yeah. I'm gonna start here with it for this one. We're finding ways. You did get. All right. Why this dude's yelling? Why is he yelling? Golly, this dude's annoying. What's it called? Let's go. And then the comment reading. Which one was the comment reading? Here we go. Boom, right here. Open looking at the tab. Okay, cool. Frosty. BJ. What? God, he be yapping, boy. So we're gonna read some comments, man. We're gonna read some comments. Before, let me hit the chat. The defense is saving him dropping picks. They keep saying they need more time to evaluate DG, but they don't need more time with a rookie running back or a D lineman. Well, hey, man. Now, to be fair, you know, quarterback is supposed to be the hardest position, right? So I will say that. I'm gonna give. Look, that's my, and some of my Shedeur fans don't like that. I'm fair to Dylan Gabriel now. I'm very fair. I'm fair to Dylan Gabriel. I ain't gonna throw him under the bus. I think he's a good guy. Right? But he's not a great quarterback. All right, listen, and that's okay, right? Hey, man, y'all leaving comments like trade Shedeur to the Jets. Why doesn't Shedeur go to the CFL? Why doesn't Shedeur start his own league? Well, I'm about to read more y'all comments right now today. So most recently, we're going to start with the video this Sunday after there was chants in the Browns crowd for Sanders to start. Let's read some of these comments first. So my man BTGTV says, when Dylan didn't throw a touchdown, I knew Shedeur wasn't playing. Now, there's been a lot of people who've been arguing that, you know, it's not really about the fact that Shedeur is not good, but it's more so that the fact that Dylan Gabriel needs to look a certain way, that Kevin Stefanski and this head coaching staff need to be right, quote unquote. Shedeur is going to get to play, but when he plays, they need to make sure that Dylan Gabriel does good enough so that y'all can show that there's a difference, that there's levels to this, and that Shedeur is on a lower level, and that's why it took us so long to start him. But I don't know how well that narrative is going to hold up, right? So we'll see how that rocks and works. And it says, Ronald Benjamin says, nasty work not letting him play. Now, I was big on that. Look, I asked y'all on that in a few other videos, and I was like, well, where do you stand on this idea that, look, I think Dylan Gabriel deserves to finish out a win. I think that's important, right? For he's still a young quarterback. We got to think about that. But at the same time, dog, it was 31-6. Dylan Gabriel wasn't the one who won that game, right? Dylan Gabriel wasn't the one who put up 31 points, right? In the live chat, shout out my man Selmore Foot. And my man says, if the playoffs were today, the Browns would be in it. Do you believe? Do you think that? Comment down below. I'm reading live comments while reading comments. So he did not win the game, right? He didn't do what needed to do to win. Now, he didn't lose it either, right? Some people could say it's a confidence builder, letting him kneel out that and get victory formation for his first win, and I'm okay with that. But at the same time, it's like, what are we? You feel me, y'all? Are we developing only one young quarterback? You know what I'm saying? Is that the only one? Have you seen enough from Dylan Gabriel to think developing only one young quarterback is a good idea? I don't know, Kevin Stefanski. Rowan says, and this was talking about Dylan Gabriel's performance. He says this was not impressive. This offense is still garbage. All defense and running back. I do believe the Lord Handmaiden says he kept Dylan in, hoping he would throw a touchdown. But again, it didn't happen. Usually when the team is up, the coach puts the backup in. Hey, I can't disagree with you. Stefanski didn't do that. Fearful that Shedeur would throw a touchdown and show DG up. That coach is a fool, thinking we don't see what he's doing. Trying to give DG all opportunity to better. It didn't work. Judkins is the scorer and workhorse, and that boy Judkins is crazy. And I told y'all about Judkins, and I told y'all about Fannin. I wasn't sure about Mason Graham. I was a little iffy about it, but I told y'all about Judkins and Harold Fannin. I told you it was going to be a problem. Dark Honey Queen says, dang, they didn't even trust him in the red zone just to hand the ball off. Now, again, to be fair to Big DG, right? Kevin Stefanski, and I don't know how much you trust Kevin Stefanski, so that's up to you. But in Kevin Stefanski's words, it was rainy, it was windy, right? Wanted to ensure that if they got into that opportunity, they didn't have to rely on throwing the football, that they could just do it. So, hey, maybe that's what it was. The weather looked a little different than me. $9.99. My man Otis with a live comment. I got to read it because I'm doing a comment reading video. It says, 12 won't play until Stefanski is fired. That's who's been feeding the media all the BS about 12. Exactly. Dylan's play has exposed Stefanski's bias. They don't believe Stefanski anymore. He will be fired in 2 weeks. Don't worry, y'all are not late. We are just reading comments. We're going to do multiple comment reading videos this week. So that live comment is important. And I really do think, what's it called? I really honestly do think that the people are starting to realize the true issue here. And it's that Stefanski needs to be fired. And it's not that I think Stefanski is this terrible coach. It's that clearly he cannot operate a high-powered offense. It's okay for him not to be a high-powered offensive coach. And for the bare minimum, he can't be calling plays anymore. It doesn't seem like it's positive to anything that's going on in the offense. And I guarantee you he's not going to put Shedeur in the best situation to ensure that he can do that. Now, what's it called? Brian Richards says, keep chanting, we want Shedeur. They were really chanting, we want Sanders. They were really chanting that was top tier stuff. Mr. G Money 1993 says Stefanski can't let Shedeur outshine Dylan even in a blowout. That's been a consistent theme. Kevin just proved how he feels about Shedeur. Cheese was losing 31-0, and they took Patrick out to start the fourth quarter. Basically, most of their number ones. I think Kevin was afraid that Shedeur would throw for more than 100 yards and throw a touchdown or 2. God is seeing all of the hissit going on at the Browns front office. Kevin and Gabriel should thank the running backs. Patriot is about to expose Gabriel more next week. At this point, Shedeur should start after their bye week. Now, this is very interesting because not only are Shedeur fans saying this, you have people in the Browns media who are starting to connect the dots that the post-bye week is going to be very important for Dylan Gabriel. It's going to be important for Dylan Gabriel. It's going to be important for Shedeur. Some people are saying, why don't y'all use that bye week and start using that as an extra week to get Shedeur where he needs to be so he has 2 full weeks of practice going into his first game? The media is already writing off Dylan Gabriel. I want y'all to know Dylan Gabriel is in a very tough situation as it stands right now going into the bye because Shedeur fans, Browns fans, Dylan Gabriel fans, Tony Grossi, everybody's like, that bye week, if you don't start throwing touchdowns or increase his average depth of target beyond 6 yards, he going to be in real deal trouble. So Ewers was drafted in the 7th round and got in. Shout out my guy Quinn, but that was real gnarly. Now, I will, again, to be fair, I should stop. I need to stop being fair. But to be fair, right? Tua Tagovailoa played the worst game of football. And I told y'all during the live that I was like, man, Tua and the Dolphins just bought Kevin Stefanski and Dylan Gabriel extra time. Because it's one thing if they would have just lost regular by a touchdown, maybe by a few points, okay, cool. But I mean, Tua went out there and decided how could I play worse? And he thought about how the worst game of football I could play, and he played worse than that he could ever imagine. It was actually remarkable how terrible Tua Tagovailoa was. What was it? 3 touchdowns, a negative 2.3 QBR. he did so bad. He made Dylan Gabriel's stat line look decent. When you put 3 interceptions next to no interceptions, I mean, hey man, that's not bad. When you put the Miami Dolphins, who somehow didn't fire their head coach after that loss, why somehow didn't bench Tua after that embarrassing loss? I don't believe in conspiracy theories, but I'll tell you one thing. I guarantee if those 2 people stay employed, it's going to be really hard to not justify Kevin Stefanski staying employed. If Miami coach got a job, I mean, he's actively making their offense look terrible. He's actively starting to terrorist that quarterback right now. Oh, my God. DJ only had 16 more passing yards than Tua. There you go. I was about to say, if you point out the stats, I don't think you want to point out the stats because the stats don't look that great. Because if that pick that got called back for pass interference really stood, wasn't they having a good day, man? Send Shedeur to Miami. He needs to start. Justin Perkins says, it's like when Gabriel was struggling. They didn't put Shedeur in. When they were up beyond reach and Gabriel could have gotten a rest, they still didn't put him in. It's time to read in between the lines. Level of assness that he would has never seen is crazy. Oh, yeah, I probably said that. I say a lot of crazy things. My man Deontay, what's happening? Remember when people said Tua was going to be better than Jalen Hurts? Dog, people were saying, and that's the crazy part. That's why I really be surprised, like, how long certain people watch football when they make certain comments. Like, you know, when they say certain things about Shedeur or something, I'm just like, did y'all just start watching football? Like, I'm confused. Like, Tua was looked at as like the next coming. Like he was going to be the guy. He was big processing skills, anticipation, right? He was Bryce Young before Bryce Young, except he had he had a little more size, and he was looked at as a little more athletic. Obviously, that hip injury, limited him a little bit more. But people were looking at Tua to lead, the greatest offense of all time. He's going to be a revolutionary quarterback, and he's lefty and he process. Like, it's going downhill fast for Tua. Like, it's getting real nasty. And for Jalen Hurts to have like this slow, meteoric rise, right, and to slowly just rise and rise and rise. That's why another big reason why I've been like, hey, just give Shedeur time. Because if everybody wants to make fun of Shedeur now, and what results in this year is that he gets a bunch of extra time just to learn. He gets a bunch of extra time not getting beat up by a bad offensive line, and then maybe he does get traded. Maybe he does go somewhere else. Maybe he stays in the Browns with a level of understanding. He got to see Joe Flacco. He's got to see a bunch of games. He got to see what the locker room's like. Maybe, I like this. I like to find that positivity somewhere. And all this negativity of him not playing, maybe that allows him to take that next step, like a Sam Darnold, right? Like a Mac Jones, right? Like the quarterback position is one that you're gonna play for a long, long time, and it's clear in that long time you can evolve and grow. It's like it's not like with Shiloh, right? Sadly, with Shiloh, he plays safety. Hey, safeties are a dime a dozen. You know what I'm saying? I can get a safety in any time. So if you're not a freak athlete, I'm not even gonna take a chance on you. Quarterback's a little different. Quarterbacks, you could be year 6, year 5. Let's go for a run. Shedeur has a long career ahead of him, and I think that he can make some things happen. I was at the game. This is what 10K Tay says. My goodness, I was at the game. Met Shedeur. DG his ass. Okay, our defense is all time at home. We need to start Sanders. That's apparently that's what the Browns fans are saying. Now, I went through enough of these. Let's get into the comment reading video and read some of the comments on the comment reading video. Again, there's going to be multiple comment reading videos, so if I don't get through all these comments, it'll probably be in the next comment reading video. All right, here we go. Genera said, lol, he actually used my comments. Yo, and that's why I have to add extra videos, because a lot of my comments on this video is y'all saying, oh my God, he read my comment. I told y'all I'm going to read the comments. I told y'all that. I told y'all. Let Dylan finish out his tenure. He's got 2 games left. I'd rather see Shedeur after the bye week. A lot of people, I don't know if there maybe some insider info has been leaked, but a lot of people are landing on post bye week. Some people have said last 4 games, like Tony Rizzo. So it's really like, again, no matter what is what Tony Rizzo said. So that's hypothetically, if Dylan Gabriel goes crazy, right? You know what I'm saying? Or maybe Dylan Gabriel is just good, because that's the most likely thing that they want to do. Dylan Gabriel is good. He starts throwing touchdowns. He operates the offense. He has a little more juice. They lose some games. They win some games. They're out of the playoffs. Last 4 games, Shedeur's going to get in no matter what. However, I want y'all to know that the Cleveland media is making it very apparent that if Dylan Gabriel stays the same, he's not lasting past that bye week. Like he's not lasting past that bye if it stays the same. If it don't get better, obviously if it gets worse, but if it don't get better, that bye week is wrap it up, Big D. Whoa. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Thank you for the comment. They can't use Shedeur in the media to distract you anymore. It's past that. And I tried to tell y'all, one of the things that Browns fans I think hate the most about Shedeur being on their team is that there's a bigger magnifying glass to how terrible they are constantly. And that can never be fun. Coach Prime Pipeline, Xavier Weaver at Arizona. Oh, see, and I told y'all in the last video, shout out, and I'm gonna pin this one. I'll mess with this because I asked specifically in this video. I said, make sure y'all comment everybody. So this is the Coach Prime Pipeline in the NFL. Now, I want y'all to remember in this next coaching carousel, shout out Jay Norvell, right? Shout out Billy Napier, right? Shout out Mike Norvell that's about to get fired too from Florida State because they didn't want to hire Deion Sanders. I remember that. Yeah, don't think I'm a Deion Sanders fan. Like, I'm a real Deion. I know how Florida State, and I'm a fan of Florida State. That was the first college football. I like Florida State. Y'all did Deion wrong, and y'all know y'all did. That's why y'all finna pay a buyout now. So the Coach Prime Pipeline, just so y'all know, Xavier Weaver, Arizona Cardinals, Kevin McClendon, Miami, Silman Craig, Jaguars, BJ Green, Jaguars, Travis Hunter, Jaguars. BJ Green is actually getting some playtime. I think Silman Craig is on the practice squad. Somebody correct. That's why I need y'all to correct for me this time. LeJontay Wester starting punt returner for them Ravens. Jimmy Horn Jr., Yano Ahito, that boy getting more reps every single week. Shepard on the practice squad for Green Bay. Sanders, Browns, not too shabby. 3 players from Jackson State in the NFL, 2 players in the Canadian Football League. Not too bad. So that's not even, and I know some like Silman, Xavier Weaver, obviously Travis. Some of these players played at Jackson State, but there were some other players in Jackson State because, again, even though y'all discredit HBCU football, I want y'all to look up all the legends in the game of football that went to HBCUs. But before y'all do that, before y'all disrespect HBCU football, go ahead and look up the greats that went to HBCU. Go ahead, have fun with that. Phenomenal list. Thank you so much for doing what you do best. That's great stuff. So, we all know what's going on, and Stefanski is definitely trying to bury him. This is from Leoking Jones 2685. That was 4 days ago. Jay Brism says, I don't trust Stefanski. Fire him before putting him on the field. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. 1535. That's a crazy connection. Sanders was cooked from the start. Oh yeah, so this was dope. Well, we learned last video because we haven't gotten to anything that I think we're gonna learn just yet. But if we do, I'll search it up. What we learned last time was Billy Musgrave played quarterback at Oregon. So he played quarterback at Oregon, and he was an offensive coordinator. Billy Musgrave and Will Stein were offensive coordinators, I believe, on the same staff as well. Like, it was like deeply Oregon connected. Like, it was real deep. It was like, oh man, and going, obviously Dylan Gabriel played at Oregon. It was good. It is. Big Trizzy says he enjoyed the video a lot. Man, my man Trizzy's been. Y'all, shout out him, man. He's always commenting, man. I learned some things that I was unaware of. That's a plus 100%. It's a vibe talking with people that really know the game, WVid Teams, and keep up the great work. I appreciate you, Big Triz. MV Spire says, don't be surprised if the owner and coach are good friends, intentional about tanking the season. The owner owns many companies and connections with politicians. Nothing just happens. Their reputation over the years remains the same. Behind the scenes conversations. Hey, I'm gonna let people smarter than me handle that one. Sounds like Stefanski was the only one trying to bury Sanders on the bench behind quarterbacks. I for as much, I don't think Stefanski hates Shedeur, but I do know he does not want to play Shedeur, and I think it has more to do with if he plays Shedeur, I think he has to accept the fact that his offensive scheme doesn't work because he's going to have to change it to make Shedeur that much better. That's why I think just firing him or just letting him not play the offensive play calls makes it way more sense. oh, you unsubscribed those followers. You're a real one. Love the integrity, not sold for followers. I don't know what this means, but I appreciate it. I tried to not be sold for followers. And if you want to unsubscribe, because I make videos. Sometimes people don't like it. Some people say I make too many Shedeur videos. Some people say I make too many non-Shedeur videos, because when I make my non-Shedeur videos, they don't get as many views. I like talking about football, and I've been talking about Shedeur as a part of the things that I talk about in football, Dion as a part of the things in football. Now, I'm going to give the people what they want. You feel me? But every week I come here and I talk about my sad Texans, right? No, sorry. I don't talk about my Texans. Lord have mercy. I don't want to talk about them. Jesus Christ. I talk about my sad Texas Longhorns. That's what I talk about every week. I talk a little college ball here and there. And those don't get as many views, but I haven't stopped making those videos. Right. And I say all that to say, there are some things that I do to please the audience, and you have to do some things to please the audience. I have to give y'all Shedeur content, but on top of that, there is just a bunch of Shedeur things in the media, right? Like, people want it, but there's also a lot of it. There's not as much going on with Houston. Like, I can talk about the Eagles. I've talked about the Giants. I talk about Cam Ward. I talk about Travis Hunter. But they don't talk about them as much because people don't like talking about football. The real media, they just want to talk about narratives, and that's why they love Shedeur. So if they're gonna keep making up narratives, I think I'll take it upon myself to be in here, be in the pocket, and keep fighting off the narratives, doing it big. But here we go. We'll keep firing through these comments. They need to chant that all game. Fire Stafeces. Oh, Stafeces. Yeah. Hey man, I see what y'all Shedeur haters be calling Shedeur. So don't be mad when they start calling Stefanski Stafeces. You can't be afraid to let that man play. Everyone is forgetting how good his preseason game was. His accuracy will help the Browns wide receivers, right? Tony Rizzo only wants you to remember the Rams preseason game. Does not want you to remember the other preseason game. Five. Mofet, what dog? These ad names are crazy. It's not y'all's fault, I know, but awesome video. Hey, thank you so much. At It's Tree, he read my comment. Y'all funny. I didn't read y'all comment. Also, thank you to everyone who else liked my comment. Lean in B, again, I know these are your ats, but I'm reading y'all comments. Y'all can see that I'm reading y'all's comments. Y'all can see y'all profile picture. Y'all can see it. I agree. This whole thing was a setup for DG. Sanders never had a chance. He could never earn space either. He outperformed everyone, and it never mattered. She comments all the time. All right, there you go. She commented again. Melissa Hutchinson says, it's funny, though, because I love Prime. He's amazing, but y'all don't understand what a beast 12 mom is. What takes her sons over the line? She is literally a female Prime. I know that they don't always get along, but that's why, though. I want to spend some time on this because shout out Shedeur Sanders. And I think Shedeur had a little comment about his mom too in the pre-draft process. But I will never forget. I was making a video on Shedeur Sanders in the pre-draft, and he was doing this interview, and people kept asking him about Coach Prime, and he said, I got a mom too, right? He said, hey, my mom does great things, and Shedeur really seems like someone who really wants to shine the light on his mom. And I think that's so important, right? In the world that we live in, right? The whether you feel however you feel, but to show that it takes both people, right? It takes the love of both people. Now, if both people don't love each other, that's a different conversation. But the love for their kids has never gone misunderstood. That is something that's important. Now, they might have some funny moments with Coach Prime, getting up out of there. They ain't trying to, what I'm saying? They've had some crazy things happen, between each other. We can read, we can Google. But at every step of the way, it's very important that I think Shiloh and Shedeur still show love to their mom, right? And I think Coach Prime gives them a place to do that too, especially with the things that have been done to him. I think that's important to show that love and show that when building young men, it takes a lot more than just flash and cool and this and that. It takes another layer than just Coach Prime. It's Coach Prime. And don't forget the mom that raised and gave them that other piece of the puzzle to what they are. So I think that's important. I need you to react to Bleacher Report's redraft. Should I do that? I might do that. I might do that when I come back or something. Josh says, have you even ever seen Stefanski smile with or talk to SS? I saw him hug and smile DG after one. Son, he does really like SS. So I'm going to, what's it called? I'm not sure if this completely negates what you're saying, but there's been a lot of, and I'm gonna end the reading comment because that was a live. Thank you so much for the $4.99. First off, JA, right? Thank you so much for doing that. But what I want to do is, I don't want us to get so lost in the world of Kevin Stefanski hates Shedeur. I don't think Kevin Stefanski hates Shedeur. I think, sadly, Shedeur is caught in between a battle between Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski. I think some Jimmy Haslam is in there too. I think there's a lot going on. I don't know if I can find a picture of Kevin Stefanski like smiling, right? I'm sure maybe if I go back into when he had that good performance against what's it called? Not the Rams, but against Carolina, I'm sure I could pull something up. But I did find this, and I thought this was very interesting, right? I'm gonna end the video here. We're gonna read more comments in this live, so if you're still watching live, don't worry. But to respond to Josh's comment, I have never seen him smile talking about Shedeur. But to be fair to Kevin Stefanski, and y'all know me, I hate Kevin Stefanski's play calling. I don't hate him as a man, right? I think that's too far. I hate his play calling. I don't want Shedeur in there when he's calling plays. To give him some credit, this was him May 23rd, 2025, when I don't think there was anything positive to say about Shedeur, right?
Shedeur is a great kid, and whether it's a following that he's earned, I mean, that's something that he's done a great job of interacting with fans. And but he is a great kid. You guys will get to know him more. He's working like crazy, just like all the guys. He's another young man. These rookies, you know, my office is downstairs. As they got to walk by my office as they come in. They come in early. And Shedeur, just like all those guys, he's in there early. He's getting his work done. So he's working really hard. I like everything there is about Shedeur.
So he likes again, this was May 23rd, 2025. I genuinely believe, right, and I know it's hard. As the older I've gotten, I'm not old. I'm not old by any means. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't check my forehead. Don't check my hairline. But I am by no regards old. But you know, I'm an adult now. And as I age, the more that I have to come to the terms with the fact that things aren't black and white, right? I think things are never. It's easy for me. It would be so easy for guys, and I've told y'all this, for me to come in here and say everybody hates Shedeur, the world's against them, yada yada, like that. It would be so easy. I would get views. Cool. It would be so easy. I could just do that. I think that the truth is a little more complicated. And I think the truth is that Kevin Stefanski does probably see him as a kid that, hey, I think he's, you know, pretty cool dude. I don't think there's anything wrong with Shedeur. I in another alternative world where I ran a different offense, I'm Shedeur would be that guy. But I can almost guarantee you Shedeur isn't his guy. As much as, hey, he's been coming in, working, showing up early. Kevin Stefanski has said positive things. Obviously, this video is of him, Kevin Stefanski, talking about the extra work he does post-practice. I want it to be known. I'm Kevin Stefanski's biggest critic. But I will be fair when the man does nice things. Nah, that wasn't too bad. That wasn't too shabby. Now, what the real life looks like, I don't know. What you think about it, comment down below, because I will again read every single comment on this video in another video where I get to talk to you guys. I can expound upon my thoughts. I'll like your comments. I just really appreciate y'all even interacting with my videos. I think it's a phenomenal thing, a great thing. But yeah, like this video if you like it. Just like if you don't, again, comment down below and I'll read it. Be great, be phenomenal, be amazing. And we'll see you next time. Peace. Now, if you're here live, don't go nowhere. I'm going to talk to y'all for a second. KT Fisto says, reached White Judkins or JCM. My two starting running backs are Archain. Rashad White or Judkins. Quinshot Judkins all day. That's they going if Stefanski has learned anything, he's learned to feed that boy. Just a girl says, but Pilar, because I believe that's how you pronounce it. It's Pilar, not Pilar. Pilar, please correct me if I'm right. Pilar, I think I said it right. I'm almost certain now. I'm sure I didn't say it right. Did her thing despite their differences. Yes, I haven't seen it. He's biased AF, which is why he needs to be fired when it's his turn. Yeah, I do think he does not, at least not calling plays. Judkins should be the quarterback. That would be hilarious. Just a Girl says, I think Kevin Stefanski doesn't like Shedeur through body language, actions, and for some reason, he can't say his name. Interesting. Jab says he does not care for SS for whatever reason. That's media talk. Okay. And that's a big thing I've been doing, as y'all know. It's okay to disagree with me. Like, I'll tell you, hey, I don't know nothing about nothing. Y'all know me. Oh, okay, I said it wrong. Okay, I'm trying to say it right. I don't know, man. Y'all know me and names. Y'all can't do it. But I think it's important to disagree. I think healthy disagreements are important. Hey, I'm reading it from the body language things, and what I see is somebody who's not as comfortable. And to be fair, and something I ain't gonna fight you on. This man loves him some Dylan Gabriel. This man, Kevin Stefanski, he loves him some Dylan Gabriel. I was trying to find that video. If you're on Twitter and you follow Brown's Twitter, there's like a video or a picture of Kevin Stefanski like lighting up looking at Dylan Gabriel. He's like, oh my God, that's my he loves him some Dylan Gabriel. I don't think y'all, I can see why y'all think he hates him because he definitely has a favorite. I'll tell you that. I'm not going to fight you on that. I ain't going to fight you on that. Judkins was the QB this past Sunday. DG was completely off the field. Remember when 12 was young that he only treat everyone as business. I'm not mad at that. All of Steph's positive comments were from May before he knew it's okay not to celebrate S2. Look up his comments from the Panthers game. Oh, no, the Panthers game comments weren't that bad. Remember, I don't think they were that bad. I don't think they're bad at all. All right, I'm going to read some more comments. Another session of comment reading. You know what? Before I do that, I'm going to see if I can find Kevin Stefanski post-game Panthers. Just real quick, because I do want to go back to that game because I feel like we kind of skirted past that game. Not only what Kevin said, but also Shedeur. I feel like we just kind of Shedeur said some pretty positive things. Challenge Shedeur Sanders on 4th and 1. Empty formation. Brown second team offense. First team. Sanders doesn't have his first notion, so he can't get this again. I can't find it right now. I am looking for it. That might have to be a separate video because I want to do like another narrative change video because wait. Coach Stefanski on his methodology behind playing versus starting players. That was the 27th, I think. All right, I can't find that. We're just gonna read comments. We're gonna go back to reading comments. I want to see. Oh, here we go. There's a small one, but this one isn't major. This is just him talking about the expectations for Shedeur. All right, cool. All right, cool. All right, we're gonna read one more set of comments, and then we are going to we're gonna do an Arch Manning video. I know everybody's favorite. What's it called? I heard that DG is Kevin Stefanski's godfather. Dang, I didn't know it was that deep. I didn't know it got that deep. All right. Shedeur Sanders is getting traded to a CFB team. Shedeur Sanders is going back to play for Colorado. Shedeur Sanders is giving up football and becoming a rapper. There's been a lot of comments that y'all been leaving, so I need to read them. All right. While you're watching this, I might be on a trip. My lovely lady is probably running for her life in a marathon, and I'm there supporting her with that backpack. So I had to get some extra comment reading videos out there because sadly, I'm not reacting to the live games. So if DG does something crazy, hey man, I don't know if I'll be able to record. I don't know, but I will leave this video with you. And hope you have a phenomenal rest of your day. And with that, I'm going to read some more comments. So getting right into it, this is the last comment video from, I believe, last Saturday, right? This one's probably going to drop Sunday, but it is what it is. Let's start right here with Zilius New Dawn. It says the Browns should pay whatever it costs to get Cignetti from Indiana. This was sadly commented before. They backed a Brinks truck up for that boy Kirk Cignetti. They gave him as much money as they gave him all the money in Indiana for him. Boy, I tell you what. Bob White says, escape, Kevin. Escape. Barry is taking the ship down. Sanders will flounder like a dinged duck on opening day. I don't know. Again, opening day is probably, it's not going to happen on opening day. Weird. But 58 Wheeler says Stefanski got himself to blame. Interesting. Sports Bill whoa, I'm in Cleveland. I'll be at the game tomorrow. Oh, well, I would like an update. If they put Sanders in, he's going to give him a chance. I really believe that. He got that spark to him that make them players believe. Jeremy Pryor. And I do want to speak on this because, early on, you had Greg Newsome, who has been traded away, right? Almost every player that's had positive things to say about Shedeur early on got traded away. But anyway, right, whether it's being traded away or just not being a part of the team or not being there, it seems like there were a lot of players who initially were quite fond of Shedeur Sanders. And, if I could show you something, I know this ain't got nothing to do with nothing. This ain't got nothing to do with nothing. But Garrett Wilson was in recent trade rumors. And back in 2023, like, I just want y'all to stop pretending. I need y'all to stop pretending like the only people who think Shedeur is a good quarterback are CU aunties and Deion Sanders fans. I guarantee you there's NFL players, former Ohio State greats. They think that a lot of players believe in Shedeur. A lot of players think he can ball, okay? So let's get that narrative out the way. So I do think he's one of those people that really galvanizes people. A lot of people believe. Julia Roman says, we can only hope he gets fired for the way they treated him in camp. I'm just hoping he stops calling plays and then Shedeur can get in there and get nasty. Stefanski got himself in this situation, and I don't trust Shedeur playing for him either. He will throw 12 under the bus. That's an interesting thought process there. Shedeur Sanders is really a lot like Seth Curry. Or Steph Curry. Okay, you led with Seth, so I gotta feel me. I saw the highlights from Jackson State. I thought I saw an NFL quarterback as a freshman. Didn't watch any games until Colorado. There as a junior, I thought I saw the second coming of Joe Montana. Like, he's amazing. As a junior, I remember watching him, then watching Drake May. May was hard to watch because he had a pretty play, then a terrible play. Okay. I want to stop. I'm going to read the rest of this comment, but this exemplifies, because he said Drake May, this exemplifies why I am of the mindset that just give Shedeur time and allow him a few years, because you look me in the eyes and tell me there's a better quarterback performing in his sophomore year than Drake May, right? And as somebody who, again, I watch a lot of college football, my thing that I hated about Drake May, and to his point, Mandel Harvey's point, right, Drake May was like a up and down. It was almost Carson Wentz-esque, where it's like amazing, and then whoa, bro, what are you thinking? A lot of it had to do with his mechanics. A lot of it had to do with he would see a ball, or he would, he's a very lively guy. He sees the field well, but he rushes his mechanics when he tries to throw, and that would lead to bad placements on balls. Now what you've seen is this like Aaron Rodgers. I don't know how many of y'all watch. I'm about to get real nerdy. Dragon Ball Z, that's as far anime as I'll go. I don't watch nothing past Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Super, Ultra Instinct, you know what I'm saying? When Goku masters it, you feel me? Like, that's what it was like. Oh, okay, these great, amazing throws that sometimes look terrible. Now in his second year in the league, with a little more time under his belt, now he's starting to put it together. Now it's starting to be more consistent. So I do think time is the one thing that quarterbacks have in this league, and I think it needs to be utilized. So Caleb Williams didn't run plays. It was all out of structure. Sanders played the most pro out of any college quarterback I've watched. Others like Vince Young and Watson were better college players. I expected Jalen Hurts to win Super Bowls whenever I first saw him as a freshman, but Sanders looked the most professional to me. Like, I'm a casual Deion fan. I looked out out of curiosity, watched every Colorado game for 2 years because that kid was amazing. Dell was my favorite entertainment because if you ever saw his hands, it's a bucket. So I tuned in to see his boy, Steph Curry. Steph Curry was the best basketball player I ever sat down and watched since Isaiah Thomas in the last century. Yes, I'm from Virginia, and I'm a Jordan hater. Okay. However, Isaiah was beaten by Father Time and other forces. Anyway, the hatred Isaiah Thomas faced is much like this. Okay, so I think first off, I really like the cross sport. This is a great comment. I think every reading comments we learn about some things, but I'm so happy about this because it dispels one of like the biggest myths that a lot of Shedeur haters like to do, and they like to frame people who are fans of Shedeur, and that's why I'm always very fair. I like to keep it very fair, right? Hey, Shedeur has enough stats and accolades that I can just read you stats and accolades and be fair, and I'll be like, this is the reason why I think he's great, right? But another point I've been trying to point out is because I think genuinely people are like, why does Shedeur have all these fans? Why do people care about Shedeur? And if it's as simple as this sometimes is all it takes right here. Hey, the basketball comparison. Hey, Dell Curry, that boy's a bucket. When I grow up and I start watching more sports, oh, you got Curry kids. Oh, well, I hope they do great. Dog, that is the same reason why I ride, and I've always been talking about Shedeur. I literally would in I don't know if it was high school, middle school, I don't know, but I forget which, because sometimes it was middle school and high school, but I would just watch Deion. Obviously, I wasn't watching the game, but I would watch Deion Sanders highlights. I would watch, obviously Tavon Austin, it's hard. Wow, Tavon Austin, DeAnthony Thomas, right? What's it called? Who else would the defensive players I would watch? Derwin James, Jalen Ramsey, right? And I would just watch those because they were either coming in the draft. I'll play football. These are the top guys. And then in watching that, you would get to a Deion Sanders, and then a little bit of this, and then I started watching the full Deion Sanders. I was like, oh my God! And then you learn about the prime time. Then you learn about this character. Then you learn about all the things that he's done and overcome. And it's like, oh dog, this is one of the greatest athletes of all time, right? That's what I came to the conclusion. As I'm a Walter Payton truther, right? As a Walter Payton truther, you get to the point that, and you even realize, hey, how many of these greats do we even have left? Deion is one of the greats that, from the last generation, because I'm big on respecting my elders. So I need to respect the person that they call one of the greatest cornerbacks of all time. If I'm watching Jalen Ramsey, if I'm watching Jair Alexander at Louisville, if I'm watching, what's it called? I'm trying to have another crazy pull. If I'm watching Shaq Thompson at Washington, if I'm watching Bud Dupree at Kentucky, I'm really going deep on you boys. Whoa, okay, that was insane. I'm sorry. I need a timeout. All right, I'm sorry on that. But I say all that to say, right? If somebody asks you why you like Shedeur Sanders, or if they're questioning that, it shouldn't be you're delusional and crazy. It's as easy as, I watched Deion Sanders, and he was one of the greatest to ever do it. I am going to root for his kids because of what he's given back to the game. And then on top of that, hey, I watched the games. Have y'all watched Colorado? Like, to all the people who hate on Colorado, do y'all not like football? Because I'm so confused. I'll be so confused. I'm like, have y'all watched? Have you not stayed up at 3 a.m. to watch a Colorado State game? That's some good hoops, dog. I'm telling you, even to this day, if you watch a Colorado game, it's some of the most entertaining of all time. Maybe I don't like good football. It's okay. That's all good. But I've seen some of the greatest football games of all time. Even if that crazy comeback was like, there's been some collapses, there's been some comebacks from them. There's been like, hey, whatever you want, they got it. From last year's 9-4 season, hey, they got it. Okay? So if you just like watching good football, you're a Shedeur fan. If you like stats, you're a Shedeur fan. And if you're someone who has been watching, who's clearly unbiased, who's clearly not that big, casual Deion fan, but fell in love with what he does and how he does and how he operates, I'm just telling y'all, it's not a bunch of, and first off, shout out to my CU aunties, because I don't even like saying that in a negative way. Shout out, because Shedeur sees y'all, Shedeur loves y'all, and Shedeur is repping for y'all. So it's not just the CU aunties, even though we love y'all, we know what y'all do. It's the normal person. So don't act like it's a bunch of crazy people. There's real passion behind what Sanders does. Watch it. Watch it, man. But yeah, great comment. I like this. We went deep and we delved deep. Your dig at Mahomes is crazy work. Whoa. What dig at Mahomes? I think I said Mahomes isn't like a real like presenting black man. And he's not. That's just not. The dude's yellow. Like I'm yellow. Like if you know what I'm saying. If you said I was mixed, I would be like, oh, okay. I mean, I identify as black, but you know what I'm saying. If you see my yellowness and see that, that's cool. But also on top of that, it's deeper than that, and people smarter than me have explained it. So I'll let them explain it. Seen something sports. I don't want to say that S word. Do you think Mini Man will throw a touchdown this week? Well, fun fact, he didn't throw a touchdown that week. Let's talk about those Buckeyes. I don't want to talk about them. I strongly disagree with that. Mahomes is a black man. Mahomes is a black man. I do believe Mahomes is a black man. I never say that. BTGTV says, again, Shedeur will start when Kevin loses play calling. Kevin won't be fired. Sorry, but he will lose play calling. I hope so. I hope he loses play calling. I really do. Black Fruit says, fire Stink Fansky. Okay. Stefanski plays are too conservative to win games, and Cleveland Browns media club should see that. But they got Browns media reporters putting out BS propaganda narratives in their echo chamber. 92.3 The Fan, Mary Kay, Grossi, and others with the America First rhetoric. I see what you're doing. We ain't doing that. Cleveland don't have no receivers, no line. They not playing their best quarterback. They suck. Front office and head coach. I'm not mad at you. But we're not done here. We've got more comments to read. We're going to do a more recent one. It'll be the most recent of me recording. I'm sure
with a young
going to trade. But this was about the Browns head coach still not giving Shedeur first team reps. Let's see what the comments had to say. Since when is throwing passes to equipment managers called development? Now this is true. Now, if you don't know, what's it called? In this video, and I was a big guy on like, hey, look, let Shedeur develop. However, if you're not going to give him the first team reps he needs or the reps that he needs, how are you going to develop him? It doesn't make sense. You can't develop him if you're not putting him in the right spots. Cupio says they gave Dylan first team snaps all summer, and now that Shedeur is number 2, they don't give him any. They can't continue to let Shedeur go, man, down. And I was cool with Shedeur not getting first team reps when Joe Flacco was in there. But at this point, now the excuse is, well, Dylan Gabriel, he's a little younger. He needs a little bit of this. He needs a little bit of that. Yada, yada, yada. And I gotta be honest, I didn't want to hear all that. I don't want to hear like y'all can't give him some first team reps. You feel me? They're acting like we didn't see him play or something. Isaiah Gardner says this just means that Dylan is far from ready and need all the reps, and that Shedeur is actually way ahead of him. Now I don't know about that, but I get what you're saying though. Like if y'all want to act like Shedeur is so behind. If he was so behind, then why isn't he getting the reps to get caught up? But at the same time, he's also caught up super quick. It ain't adding up, man. It ain't adding up. FG, I'm going to keep saying that Johnny Unitas Golden Arm winner. They need to hear it. Hey, keep saying it, man. Keep saying it. I think he meant FB. Kevin can't let Shedeur get reps with the ones. Shedeur will blow DG out of the water. Pause. And the entire team will want Shedeur on the field. Kevin sucks. Shedeur still not getting any development from the Browns. I'm not mad at that. Head coach Kevin Stefanski needs to be fired immediately. It must suck to be a Browns fan. Everything their head coach does makes the team worse. Now, I don't know if it's always making the team worse, but I tell you one thing. I don't think there's a Browns fan that agrees on anything, whether it's positive or negative on what the Browns are doing. All the receipts, very good video. Hey man, that's one thing I do. I keep the receipts on me, man. The day Sanders starts is gonna be crazy. They're gonna have First Take in Cleveland, Club Shay Shay in Cleveland, all the celebs and everything. It's gonna be a win. I don't care who they play. Sanders isn't ready, but I'm not giving him first team reps of development. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what you call a circular reference from Double Talk Stefanski. Like I said, I was the one saying, hey, maybe just maybe they will give him the development that's needed. Maybe they'll do it, but at this point, there is no excuse other than we're trying to develop Dylan more. y'all have already been giving Dylan the more, like he's gotten more reps than anybody. He had more reps than Joe Flacco because Joe Flacco had no reps in the preseason. Like it didn't make sense, right? I don't trust the coach. He don't like Shedeur. Interesting. So Pickett, Flacco, and Gabriel got reps, but still a no for your immediate backup. Guys, again, guys, I get trying to. Hey, we're trying to, what's you called? We're trying to develop Dion. I mean, I did. Jeez, Dion. We're trying to develop Dylan. I get it. But if Dylan goes down for just a play, if Dylan's helmet goes off, Shedeur has to go. Like I want y'all to understand, like, because I don't like wishing injuries. We ain't even gonna do. I don't like all that. I don't like any of that. So we ain't doing that. What I will say is, by rule in the NFL, if Dylan Gabriel's helmet comes off, he has to come off. If Dylan has if it comes off and then oh shit, now it's like a equipment malfunction. We either have to give him a new lid or we gotta fix it. That could be a whole series that Shedeur has to go out there with the ones. Hey, y'all ain't gonna put the twos out there, are you? Is that what you're gonna do, Kevin Stefanski? So I am not saying that Shedeur Sanders, he needs all the reps. Oh my God, why is he not getting equal? He doesn't even need to be equal. I'm not asking for equal. People are saying, like, I saw some people saying like, hey man, the NFL isn't equal. I'm cool with it not being equal. But it's gotta make sense. It's gotta make sense if the immediate backup, emergency quarterback, a little different. Cool. Maybe he does scout team reps. Cool. Even though that was, y'all could barely get him scout team reps apparently from Tony Rizzo. But he don't get to see what it is like with the ones. So when he play with the ones, he can play with the ones. Helmet comes off, Shedeur's in the game. I'm just saying. I'm over this ish now. Get an agent and leave that horrible team. He knows what will happen if he gets first team reps because the team will want him to start. He's trying to hide the fact that Shedeur is better. Bro, good SS content, but you have to do a video on when SS said he was having nightmares before the draft, then tie it in to the tweet he posts. Oh, wow. I do remember that. If you go to we actually did a video about this. We can tie it in and we can do something like that. Maybe we can do that tomorrow. But if you don't remember, it was right after the draft and he was saying basically he was having nightmares leading up to the situation before everything happened. But he actually felt, things kind of happened in a better way than what he envisioned. So, sometimes you have a bad thought on things like that. You know what I mean? Cupio says, why would Shedeur need help with anything pre-snap? He never had that problem. Thank you. And that's Cupio. I'm happy you said that because there will be another video coming out tomorrow. Because this video is coming out Sunday. So not this tomorrow, but today's tomorrow during the stream. If you watch it tomorrow morning, if you watch the stream tomorrow, there will be a video speaking about that because actually, if you look in everything that he's got cooking on, there's nothing pre-snap that says that he should have problems. Brendar Blackstock says, I didn't realize how short DG was. You know what? We might have to start wrapping it up. Yada, yada, yada. Some old-ish different day. They bringing Dylan along as if he just got out of middle school. I can't guarantee Shedeur won't get the same chance. That's Skate Queen. That guy hate and is very jealous of Sanders' family. It is so obvious and very sad. My prayers he gets out there and the Browns is not helping. I had to look this head coach up to see if he had kids around Shedeur age. And this dude is only 43 years old. He is Joe Flacco's age, which is kind of crazy. And no wonder why he is so petty. He's young. I thought he was at least 60 years old. That's how he looks. Okay. All right. We're done. He is a young guy, and that's something I do want to wrap this up. He's young. Joe Flacco is 41, by the way. Just to let you know, different age there. But I made a comment. I think it was a few videos back, and I was like, with Joe Flacco, and this is another reason why I was okay with Shedeur not getting all the reps and maybe not being the front because you're gonna learn from Joe Flacco, but not only you're gonna learn from Joe Flacco is he's literally a second coach. I think I said in the other video, hey, he's around the same age. They are literally around the same age. So Joe Flacco is legitimately another coach in the locker room for just presence wise, age wise, experience wise. Joe Flacco, I'm almost certain has more football experience than head coach Kevin Stefanski. I can almost guarantee you that. Multiple Super Bowl champion, XYZ, has been playing the game longer than he's been coaching, than Kevin Stefanski's been coaching, right? So when you got rid of him and now we were hesitating to make Shedeur the second. We're hesitating to give him the what's it called? To give him the reps. It makes me hesitate to know that if the plan that was there all along is a true plan and something that's going to be stuck there, because nothing that has been done and nothing that Dylan Gabriel has done is making people confident that y'all knew what was going on. But hey, what do we know? You know what I mean? Comment down below. On this one, I'm going to read every single comment like I just did on that video and on this video. But yeah, like this video if you like it, dislike. If you don't, subscribe if you like football content. If you're watching it live, stay here. We're going to do one more video about Arch. Other than that, y'all be great, and everything else in between. We'll see you next time. Peace. All right, so I'm about to do my Arch content. Before that, I will read the chat for a second because I know a lot of y'all are Arch haters. So I'm going to let all my my Arch Manning haters get up out of here. Even though I'm going to be doing some hating on Arch Manning too. But I want to read the chat a little bit because obviously I was doing some things. So it says, Mono Blue. Yo, what's going on, Mono Blue? Easy Baby says, watch Shedeur become the GOAT. Nias Lincoln says, I thought you were mixed. I am. What's it called? Wizard says, America first is lame. What you mean? It is. But what I'm saying is, I want you to go to the smarter people about that. I know exactly what he's talking about, but there are smarter people that explain that than me. I got my forehead's too big. But yes, there is. It's a good old boy league. You feel me? It's a good old boy league, right? We don't want to get into that though. I like to keep it football because you got to understand the reason why I don't delve into those things is because those haters, those types of people. Right? Y'all know what the types of people I'm talking about. They want you to say racism. They want you to claim those things. Even if that's really what's going on, they will just throw it back at your face and say, "Oh, see, you're being a victim. You're doing that." So what I do is I go strictly football. I go strictly stats. I go strictly, well, these are the accolades. This is where he ranks. This is where he's around. And when you do that, they get real mad. When you do that, they comment under all your videos saying, you're a Shedeur Glazer. Because you have a real substantive argument, even though there are substantive arguments about those social, I don't want to say barricades, but social shackles, I'll say. Shackles is a bad word. I feel like Drake saying that. But social roadblocks that are intertwined with the American experience and that are magnified by the NFL experience is what I'll say. But again, I'm not smart enough to delve into that. I can read some stats though. I know that. I know what a stat look like. You said you're late. Don't be sorry for being late. What's it called? KS really playing into those South Park memes. Y'all gotta stop watching them fake AI videos, man. Stop it. Even though they're kind of funny. Dollar Bill says Patriots win big this weekend. 2-week notice for DG. And KS after bye week number 12 will be QB1 head coach removed. By Grace B says, I see so many HR and EEOC violations. Does the NFL have to follow the same employee laws? No, they don't. I guarantee you they don't, because they're not regular employers like that. SK Sports Talk says Cleveland media is starting to wake up very slowly, though. They're not waking up. They are rolling out the propaganda. They're just making it look a certain way. Joshua says they will need to move Kevin Stefanski in order for SS to get a fair chance. If he takes the field under Kevin Stefanski, it will be horrible. I agree. Kevin Stefanski and DG both have to go. I think DG and Shedeur, I think they coexist. Dollar Bill says tied to the court. I don't know what that means. Rob says, I believe with the 3.9 GPA brain had memorized DG plays from watching him play them and perfected them defense O-line. What? Okay. I don't know what's going on now. Easy Baby says Dylan will get hurt. Whoa, and then we'll have no chance to play him. I hope he does not get hurt. Dylan might get traded by the owner and GM. Moneyball. Buck says KS loves DG so much you should take him with him. Patriots are going to put a whooping on that boy Dylan. Miss Pamela says, don't be surprised if Stefanski activates Watson or Bailey. Y'all forgot? Hey, y'all better not forget about Watson, especially Watson. And then it says Stefanski will try his goofy ass Wildcat play again. Agreed. The Pats could smoke the problem for the Browns fans. Concussion. Whoa. Let's not do too much of that. Let's not do too much of that, man. Let's not do too much of that. But let's wrap this up, man. Let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this stream up with a little bit of Arch Manning. If you here for the Shedeur, Nightcap is on right now. So go check out Nightcap. I'm sure they're going to be talking about it. I have yapped plenty about Shedeur. I got Shedeur videos. Y'all know I got plenty of Shedeur videos. I will have a Shedeur video dropping in the morning, or I'm not sure if it's going to come out in the morning because I don't feel like editing right now. But I will have a Shedeur video dropping tomorrow. I will have the comments video dropping Saturday and Sunday because I will be gone Saturday and Sunday and Friday. So I'll have a video for Friday too. So to all my people who are only here or mainly here for Shedeur, nothing wrong with that. Just letting y'all know that I'm about to get into some buns. I'm about to get into some ass. What's it called? I've been saying they're giving Shedeur the LiAngelo Ball treatment and using him for clicks. And Chicken says the only difference is that Shedeur is actually made for the NFL. Hey, that's what NFL players think. You know what I'm saying? That's just what the NFL players say. They apparently think Shedeur is good at football. Hey, don't take it from me. Take it from the NFL players. All right, let's close that. I'm gonna keep the Arch Manning videos short. Keep them short and sweet. Arch Manning is 2 packs of ass. But Texas is even worse as a whole. But we're going to get into that. Now, I want to point out some things. Texas sadly beat Kentucky 16-13 in overtime. We're going to watch a few interviews from both Sark as well as Mr. Arch Manning. But first, we're going to look at some stats. So remember, there was 179 yards of total offense. This was the fewest amount of offense in the entire era of Kevin Stefanski being here. Yes, that means when Hudson Card was throwing footballs, you don't even know who Hudson Card is, do you? When he was throwing footballs, they still amassed more yards than this. Arch Manning, 44% completion percentage, right? 1.7 yards per carry on the ground for an offense. Now, this is what the stats look like going into this week against Mississippi State, right? You've got against Ohio State, 30 attempts, 17 for 30, 56%, 170 yards, a touchdown interception. 295 against, again, San Jose State, still throws an interception. UTEP, 1 touchdown, only 114 yards, 4.6 yards in attempt, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. UTEP, San Jose State, he gets to flex on them boys, throws 309. Against Florida in an embarrassing loss, 2 touchdowns. Billy Napier got fired. Jesus. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Not the best. 55% completion percentage. 77%. Now, Red River, I told you, Red River games don't count. Everybody plays different. Go look in the history of Red River games. It does not matter the record of any team. It's going to be a crazy game. And then, obviously, Kentucky against one of the worst defenses, not only in the SEC, but one of the worst defenses in the league. 8 for 20. 40% completion percentage. 101 yards, guys. 101. This was the preseason Heisman, yo. Texas was everybody's favorite to win the national championship. And now here they are sweating out wins against Kentucky. So how do we feel about it, Arch?
Part of it's just pretty annoying. I mean, the guy was wide open, and I missed him. But, you know, I'm going to get those throws, and I'm going to get better. And I told Jack we're going to get it again, and I'm going to hit you and go score. I mean, a little right after, like, damn, what the hell was that? But you got to move on. You got to flush it one play at a time. Obviously, we want to play better on offense all around. Myself will be the first to say that. But really proud of the way we played as a team. Special teams, Jack and Mason and Ryan were incredible. And then our defense, if you look at it on paper, we probably should have lost in just about every way. But
that's true.
Pull out the win on the road to SEC, not going to take for granted. Very fortunate.
Extremely fortunate. They don't. Again, we didn't deserve that win. It was a tough situation. Now, a lot of people, me, were concerned about Kevin Stefanski's play calling because on 3rd and 3 he called a double reverse pass, and I almost pissed myself when I saw that shit. I really couldn't believe it. I'm living in a nightmare. Like you ever have one of those moments where like you ever have one of those moments where you like, oh my God, I'm alive. I have free will. Like, you know, like one of those weird realization moments, like, well, I'm a real live person. I can do whatever I want. I just had that moment. I was like, man, like we're in the middle of the season. Cause you know, at the beginning of the season, I was like, man, I had such high expectations. I'm like, imagine if we were just bad. Nah, that's not going to happen. Like I'm living in a world where the offense can't even get 200 yards against Kentucky. Like that's the world of the Texas offense I'm living in, and it is depressing. It's really depressing. But go ahead, Arch. Lord have mercy.
Yeah, utmost faith in him. I mean, that's the reason I came here, just because how smart he is with calling plays, and the most confidence in him, and we're just gonna keep going from here.
Okay. Yeah, man. I don't know if I have the maximum amount of input, but now I will say our defensive leader, Mr. Taft Mookie, is going to be out for 3 weeks. He did break, or he's having an operation done on his finger, so he's going to have some nice things to say. We're going to listen to him right after Arch, and then after we're going to go Arch, Taft, and then we're going to go Steve Sarkisian, and then I'll do a little bit of yapping and show you some stats that might actually bode a little better for Arch Manning, what he's been doing.
Do you worry at all about losing your job?
Nah, I control what I can control. I work hard during the week, prepare my best, and that's go out and try my hardest on game day. That's all I can do.
I have to really feel bad for Arch Manning because I'm a big Shedeur advocate, and advocate is kind of a strong word. I don't think I'm advocate for him, but I'm a big Shedeur guy, right? I don't think he needs to be advocated for, but one of the bigger reasons why I became a Shedeur fan is because I was a Deion fan, right? And I'm a Texas fan, so I'm whoever's wearing that jersey, I'm going to be a fan of, right? If they're going to help us win. But it's also cool that it's a Manning, right? I grew up, that was my childhood, watching Eli Manning before he became ass, and watching Peyton Manning before his legs couldn't work. Hey, man, that Super Bowl, that defense carried him to that Super Bowl. But still one of the greatest preseason quarterbacks in the history of NFL, obviously, in Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning over Tom Brady. Argue with a wall. Yeah, boy. Hey, them arguments was crazy. Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady. Anyway, we don't have to go there. So with all that being said, and with my love for the game and people in the elders who have given to the game, who shaped the game that I've watched, right? I would love for Arch Manning to just be this dog. Also, because that means them Longhorns is you feel me too. But there's a selfish reason. There's also just even if he went to Tulane, I would want him to ball out because he's a Manning, right? To see it go so negative, like I want to show, and I'm about to show y'all something that the difference. Like, this is not the same player. Like, that's something I want to really stress to people who maybe didn't watch him versus, last year versus Mississippi State and, UTEPs and UTSA. Like, he wasn't the greatest thing smoking. I didn't, when you say that, it wasn't going to be like, oh my God, he's the greatest ever. But there was a reason why people had him in Heisman talks. It wasn't just because of his name. Now, the name added a lot of gas. I'm not going to lie to you. It added a whole lot of gas. The school he goes to added a whole lot of gas. The offense coordinator he has added a whole lot of gas. But if you watch him, it's this is a dude who has the capability to rush for 1,000 yards and throw for 3,000. Like that at the very minimum, he can do some Tim Tebow, maybe above the world Tim Tebow stuff, throw some more yards and rush for a bunch. Like he looks like a top tier college quarterback. He's mobile. He's got a great base. He can throw the long ball, right? He gets there with timing. He has some things to work on, right? He threw some picks, and he was a little bit of a gunslinger last year. But that is not this player. This is the player that really, like, he's missing wide open play. Like, he wasn't doing that last year. He didn't seem so uncertain of himself last year. So seeing this and seeing the way that he's had to, after a win against Kentucky, you have to answer questions about whether he's afraid to lose his job. Like for 2 years or 3 years, he's been waiting to live out his dream, and I don't think it could go any worse for him. So at some point, you do feel for him, not just as a Texas fan, but just as someone who enjoys the game of football and hope he does good. Now, a real deal leader, probably had some bright spots and some positive things to say about the whole situation.
These questions seem a little bit negative, I'm not going to lie, guys, to the offense. And I'll say this. It's freaking hard to win in the SEC. Go ask Georgia when they won the national championship what they did against Kentucky last year when they won the SEC championship. What they do against Kentucky last year. It's hard to win the SEC. So we freaking won. Let's put some smiles on our face. We won, and the show goes on, and we're dancing. And at the end of the day, we control our destiny. So we're going to keep on pushing, and we're going to do it with a smile on our face. And there's going to be corrections, and I trust in my guys. I trust in my coaches, and I'm freaking excited. So I want y'all to put some smiles on it.
Now, there was another comment from Colin Simmons, and I don't want to put it in because I want to focus, on Arch, and we're gonna get into it. But he said something similar. He was like, somebody asked him. They said, "Hey, your head coach, what's it called, Steve Sarkisian." He said, this is a very defensive minded, defensive special teams is really coming together. And Colin Simmons said, "Can you say that one more time?" And he said, defensive special team. He said, and offense. He said, and offense. He said, no, this is a full team game, right? This is Colin Simmons after having a 3-sack performance, having his best game probably of the year to help us eke out a win. And all he has to say is, oh, no, and the offense. Hey, we're going to uplift. Hey, Michael Tapp. Hey, we're uplifting. So with all this being said, and, I really feel bad for Arch, and I think he's in a bad spot. I don't think there's and this is a testament to Steve Sarkisian, who we're about to, listen to from. He has created a phenomenal culture, right? And cultures last. Teams don't, right? Some teams get injuries. Teams may sputter out. They might not execute, but cultures last. Cultures allow you to reload in college football. And in the NIL transfer portal era, that's one of the hardest things, because as Texas, they can throw around they're throwing around as much money as Ohio State. Everybody, when you get up there, everybody got money. It's kind of funny, and that's when I used to make college football videos, I would always talk about this. I was like, when you get to the high levels, it's not really about money anymore. It funnily enough, it comes back to culture. It comes back to what college football always was. And can you show that next star quarterback that whenever you struggle, like I want y'all to know, this is one of the greatest marketing and what's it called, recruiting displays for a Texas football program right now, and it's specifically for the next quarterback, right? And if Arch stays, or we have a 5-star in Diabell that's supposed to be coming up, right? Who for us to continue to get those top level quarterbacks, they need to have confidence that I can play this bad. We can struggle this much as an offense, and my defense is going to defend me. My coach is going to defend me. Everybody's going to be defending me. That is a culture that is built in. I have to credit Steve Sarkisian as much as I will discredit him in his terrible play calling that he has created. So let's hear it, Steve.
At the end of the day, offensively, I've got to do a better job. Putting all of our players in position to be successful, and that's blocking people. That's throwing the ball to open people. That's running routes precisely where they need to be. So that's on nobody but me. And so that's when you can look in the mirror first and say, okay, I'm responsible to try to get this fixed and get better at it. I'm very comfortable with that. So
hey, he's comfortable. He's taking the head on. I will say, before we get into it, just want to run some quick stats by you. So, where the Texas offensive line has ranked in pass protection efficiency via PFF in the Sarkisian era. So, starting in 2021, they were the 91st. Obviously, new regime. They're trying to take over. We had a very bad offensive line, right? 2022, 24th. 2023, 3rd. 2024, 13th. And again, 93.2 to 91, 90 to 91.7. That's a pretty tight spread. 2025, we are 125th at 83.8. This is the worst graded the worst efficient pass protection we've had ever. So I hate to give Arch Manning a little bit of credit, but wow. Rating measures pressures allowed on per snap basis with weight towards sacks allowed. Arch Manning has been hit 60 times in 7 games. It took all of 2024 regular season for Quinn Ewers to be hit 60 times. For the Department of Yikes, Texas has failed to score more than 17 points. It sounds like the Browns. Hey, I'm telling you, this is the audition for the Browns. I'm telling y'all, man, Arch Manning is audition for the Browns. Can you survive in a terrible offense, Arch? Oh, we got a Kevin Stefanski waiting for you. From the Department of Yikes, Texas has failed to score more than 17 points on offense in regulation in 7 of the last 9 games against Power 4 defenses going back to the A&M game in 2024. Now, to end this, I do want to show that, again, that Texas is playing Mississippi State this weekend. I think I'm probably going to drop this Friday. I'll be driving, doing whatever. I don't even know if we're going to beat Mississippi State. This is a different Mississippi State team. This Mississippi State team has, what's it called? This Mississippi State team has people with pulses playing football. So like we're gonna have to. They got some spunk. They've won some games. They want to get after us. Okay. Now I want to show you what it looked like with that highly graded offensive line. And I said something at the beginning of this video too, and I was like, hey man, he just looks like a different player. So first, let's look at this. One of the best offensive line. I think the only offensive line better than us was the Miami. And I think Georgia had better offensive lines than us last year. But I mean, we're talking about the toppest tiers of players. We're talking like that. So we elite offensive line, one of the best in the SEC. Look at it. Now they're only sending 3. I do want to say they're only sending 3, but they brought the 4th. But I want you to look at the Kentucky game. There were multiple times where they only sent 3 and they still got people through. So they only send 3. Thank the Lord we pick up all 3, and he's got all day to throw this. Not only that, I want you to watch how he throws, how smooth he throws. He gets to the top of his drop. He's gonna hitch. He's going to step up, and he actually steps through. Instead of, if you notice, he does this weird thing where he gets flat-footed and keeps and like tries to go all up or whip. I don't know why he does that, but he just looks smoother throwing the football. And now that thing's a duck, but he throws that thing out there. Beautiful stuff. And they're going to give you another. Is this him going crazy? Oh no, he's just okay. See, he's very calm, very cool, very collected. I think this might be that same play. Yeah, so he's got all day. He can just level up. So there is some positivity to be made, right? There really can be. But remember, you can't do things like this, Archie. We can't miss wide open drags. This is like the 8th time, guy. Like it would be different if it was like a post or something like that. God, this is a drag. It's a drag to Ryan Wingo that for some reason we miss. Now I want you to watch the way he throws this. Do you see that? You see the difference, right? You see how he tenses his upper body, and I've shown this. Really it's his lower body. Instead of stepping into this throw like he did, get to the top and then letting his full body, he just wants to throw with his upper body. He freezes his lower body. Look at it. He takes this small choppy step. He takes a small choppy step and tries to release it. Look where his foot's pointing. Look where this ball's going. It's just never on. We can't do that. This is, and then here we go on 1st and 10. This is a wide open. He's going to do the, hey, fake go this way, come back this way. Watch his feet again. He chops his feet. He's so quick. Instead of allowing himself to fully, hey, take a step, transfer your weight, he wants to just get to throwing the ball so fast, and you miss a wide open player. So, I would like to say the offensive line is just a problem. I would like to say the Sarkisian play calling is the problem. But Arch Manning needs to be better, or he should be worried about his career. Other than that, it makes no sense at all for Sark to keep his job. But hey, y'all let me know how y'all feel down below. Arch Manning is the definition of overhyped. He was the Heisman winner that they all wanted him to be. He was the 1st-round pick that the Browns needed, and right now there's a lot more questions on this Texas team than answers. So y'all let me know how you feel. Like it down below if you like it, dislike if you don't. Comment, do all that fun stuff. Be great. See you next time. Peace. All right, I'm done. I'm very sleepy. I went longer than I thought. I'm gonna edit this video, get it ready for y'all in the morning. Thank y'all so much for rocking and also rolling with me. Y'all be phenomenal. Won't be streaming anytime soon, but there will be plenty of videos. There will be plenty of shorts. I'm getting in my shorts bag. I gotta find some other content. You know what I'm saying? I gotta find a way to feed the streets. Thank you, Terrence Jones. Great tease here. Isaiah, my man Isaiah Lawrence is here. Thank y'all so much for being here. Trizzy, what's going on, man? My man Trizzy, you came right at the wrong. We at the end of the thing, man. You're gonna have to start it from the beginning. But we will have a Shedeur video coming out in the AM. Gotta hit y'all with the morning. I'm probably gonna record another video during the day. Arch Manning video that'll probably come out Friday. I'm gonna try to record up to like the minute of me leaving so I can get some extra ones out. Bow. But I'll probably be behind on some of those things. We'll have the comment videos dropping Saturday and Sunday. Just appreciate y'all rock with me. Right? You know what I'm saying? So like this video if you like it, dislike if you don't, subscribe if you like football content.